Hello and welcome guys. Today we will be looking functions. So basically the idea behind function is to it's a block of statement that will return you some specific task. So why we use functions? So basically we use function when we have multiple repetitive tasks that will give me output the same result that we want every time. So that time what we will do, we'll create a function so that it will return me the same item. So what happen if we don't have functions? So we have to write the same code every time, and that it will cause lot of multiple code of same it will return a same thing. So to exclude those type of confusion, we use commonly called functions. So basically when you want to repeat some task, you are writing same code again and again, so that time you will use Python function, or in any programming language you will use function to basically get that specific output. So how we define, so basically function is defined the same way that we define in any other programming language. So basically it will start with def, that is define, and you have to give that particular name of that function and parenthesis. So inside this parenthesis you will be passing variables or attributes. Okay, so so this is what first example of Python function. So basically I am defining a scream function that will return me hello world. So inside that function I am writing give me hello world print statement. So this is how you will be calling the function. So if I run this, it will return me hello world. So this is how you create basic function in Python. Okay, now you want to return a square of given number. So you will be passing one number and it will return you some square of that value that you are passing. So what you will do, you will create a function that will take number as a parameter. Okay, so what you will do, you will call this function with some value, because you need some value to make the square of that particular value. So inside the function you are writing out as a variable, and you are squaring that number that you have got from user. Okay, and you returning that particular output. So return is used to return the output basically. Okay, so if I run this, and like I said, you have to pass a value with that particular function. Okay, so if I pass this, if I pass 3, what it will return me? It will return me 9, right? What is the square of 3? Obviously it is 9, so that's why it returned me 9. So this is how you will be calling a function with a particular parameter. Okay, now let's say you will be passing no value inside it. Okay, so what will happen? It will give you that error that one item is missing, that is number. And you can see the readability of error in Python is very easy. It is just like told you what is missing inside this function that you are calling. Okay, so this is how you will be calling. Okay, now let's say you want to print out a square, and then you want to print in a standard manner. Okay, standard manner, what I mean by that, the value of q is whatever the output you got from here, squaring 4. So it will return q is 16, right? Obviously why it returns 16 and 6 and q is none? Because you are not returning, you are printing it. Okay, so what you will do, you will return the out variable. Okay, now I'm running it, it will show q is 16. Okay, now hope you understand how we will be working with functions and dynamic printing. Now hope you guys have already know about factorials, how we work with factorials, right? So in factorial we take one input, which is that variable. If that variable is greater than 1, then what we will take, we will do recursion. Okay, recursion is basically calling that function again and again. Okay, so what I am doing here, if the value of n is greater than 1, then it will come here in this if statement. If it is factorial is, let's say 0, so it will return directly 0. Now if the value of that particular n is greater than 1, it will come here, it will calculate that so let's say here it is 2, so 2 square of factorial n minus 1, so it will call the function again. So 2 square minus, so n will become 1. So if you're passing 2, so the factorial of 2 will be 2. Okay, now factorial of 3, what it will be first if you are passing 3, so it will get multiplied by 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, so this will be the output of factorial 3. right? Like I told you. Now let's say you want to calculate the factorial of 5. Obviously factorial of 5 is 20. Okay. Okay, now hope you understand how it came. So this is how factorial works. Now you know there is something called arguments, star arguments. Now I will tell you why I have written here star arguments. Okay, now let's say you don't know like how many item will be passed into the function. Okay, so I mean, let's say the number of argument you are passing is 10. Okay, 10 items, 5 items, so you are not sure about how many argument will be passed. So that time what you will do, you will type star, because you don't know. Star basically means all. Okay, whatever all item I want the arguments for that particular I mean passed value. So what you will do, you will return their sum. Whatever the number of argument I am passing, it will return me the sum of all the items. Okay, so let's run the function and you will see what is the difference between star. So basically, as you can see, what all item I have passed, it gave me the sum of those item, and then I'm printing it. So basically first printing and then it is giving me the sum. Okay, now let's say another example. Okay, now I'm passing two argument. So what it will return? Obviously 2 plus 1 3. So this is how hash star or you can say star arguments works. Basically you don't know how many arguments will be passed, so that time you will use star. Next we have created another function, that is proper function. So first let me clear what it does. So basically I am taking some text here. So let's say whatever text we will be passing, first it will split into I mean whatever the number of items are there. So basically splitting into white spaces. Like I am passing nothing, so it will split in white spaces. Okay, now what I am doing, I am joining every element inside some text. Okay, so what I am doing here, I am doing list comprehension here, if you can see. Okay, so what I am doing is I am splitting now each of the words. Okay, now I am making them upper. Okay, as you can see, every first element in this let's say name, I want to make every first element capital letter. So that time what I will do, I will access the very first element. I'm making them upper and then adding the remaining words to it. So plus is basically to append the very first item with the remaining item. I am accessing the very first item and the remaining item using slicing that we have worked earlier. For every word we have in some text, which is this. So if I do this, what it will return me? It will return me Mahendra Singh Dhoni with first letter as capital. Okay, so before I run it, let me show you what this list comprehension is doing there. Okay, so if I run here list comprehension, now let's say I am defining some text equal to Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Okay, now you will see what it has done. It has make every first element of each item as capital letter. Okay, so that's why I called it a proper function. Okay, now you will see what it does. It basically, after doing this operation, I am joining it. So you will see no comma here. So that's why I am joining it. Okay, so basically join is used to join every particular item we have available in the list. Now if I run this, basically I am calling that proper function and passing the name and then returning the captain. So as you can see, it has first make the first letter capital and has returned me after joining the whole name. Okay, hope you understand how we will be using join. Now comes the lambda function. So basically in Python, lambda function is also called as anonymous function. Why anonymous function? Because what anonymous means is no name, right? I mean nothing. So here also in lambda we do not give any name to it. So that's why it is called as lambda function. Why? Because we don't give any name, or it doesn't require any name to be given. So what I'm doing here is like what we have in X, we are splitting it. Okay, so let's say string to list, I am passing captain. Okay, what is captain? Captain is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So it will return me Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and if you check the type of that particular string, it will say function. Why function? Because we are using lambda, and like I told you, lambda is used for creating anonymous function, and here you can see I am not giving any name to the function. It's just anonymous function. Okay, and this is how we will be using lambda, because we don't want to give any name to it. Okay, same here. What I am doing here, I am doing product. Okay, so what product is doing? It is multiplying the elements that we have in that particular function. So what elements we have? We have x and y. So x and y, what I'm doing multiplication. So I'm calling that particular variable, and then I'm passing 3 and 4. Okay, why? Because we don't want to give any name to this function, that's why we are using lambda. Now if you want to check the type of, what is the type of product, so it will tell you function. As you can see, it returned me function. So this is all we have in function and lambda. Hope you have understood all this thing. I will be sharing all the notebook that we have worked till now in the GitHub, so that you will download and you can directly work by running it. So yeah, thank you, bye bye.